KTM's CEO, Gottfried Neumeister, has just dropped a bombshell that's got the racing world buzzing. KTM is locked in until the end of 2026, but what happens after that is anyone's guess. With a fresh cash injection from Bajaj, red-hot rumours about Pedro Acosta being wooed by Ducati, and massive changes in MotoGP under new management, what's next for the Orange Brigade? Stick around, because we're about to unpack all the secrets and speculation. KTM, the Austrian outfit known for its bold orange livery and relentless racing spirit, has been a mainstay in MotoGP since joining the fray in 2017. With their ever-evolving RC16 bike and a prodigy like Pedro Acosta in their ranks, KTM has become a proper thorn in the side of giants like Ducati and Yamaha. But the latest news suggests their MotoGP future might not be as bright as we'd hoped. According to Neumeister, KTM will honour their contract with the sports promoters until the end of 2026. That means we'll see those orange machines tearing up the track for at least 2 more seasons. But what happens after that? Neumeister was cagey, saying KTM will stay involved in motorsport, but stopping short of confirming MotoGP as their main focus. It's like reading a thriller with the last chapter missing. Last week, KTM announced a massive financial boost from Bajaj, their long-time Indian automotive partner. This cash is set to secure KTM's long-term operations, particularly at their 2 key Austrian sites, Mattighofen and Mundafing. Sounds like good news, right? It means KTM has the funds to keep innovating and building cracking bikes. But there's a flip side. While their factories in Austria are now on solid ground, the future of KTM's motorsport division is still up in the air. Neumeister admitted their current deal only runs until 2026, and there's no guarantee KTM will stick around in MotoGP beyond that. Why? Well, there's a load of factors to consider: costs, rule changes, and the new direction MotoGP is heading under its new leadership. And here's where it gets really juicy. The company behind Formula One's global success has just taken the reins of MotoGP as its new promoters. This is a game changer that could reshape the sport forever. Neumeister, a self-confessed MotoGP fanatic, reckons this shift will shine a bigger spotlight on the sport. But what does this mean for KTM? One big prediction is that the new promoters will push for more races in the United States. Why? Because the US is KTM's biggest single market. If MotoGP starts hosting more rounds across the pond, it could be a golden opportunity for KTM to boost their brand and sales. Neumeister was clear that pulling out of MotoGP isn't a decision they'd take lightly. It's a sign KTM still loves the sport, but they've got to be pragmatic. Motorcycle racing is an expensive game, and without strong financial backing or clarity on the future, KTM might face some tough calls. Pedro Acosta, the young star stealing the show and Ducati's attention. Now, let's talk about the hottest topic in this saga: Pedro Acosta. The 21-year-old Spanish sensation is a proper game changer in MotoGP. With his aggressive yet clever riding style, Acosta's been turning heads left, right and centre. But with KTM's future uncertain, the paddock is abuzz with talk that Ducati, the undisputed kings of MotoGP, have their sights set on him. Insiders reckon Ducati see Acosta as the perfect fit to lead their charge into the next era of MotoGP, especially with their bike's unmatched pace. This isn't just idle gossip. Pundits are buzzing with speculation that Ducati's top brass are ready to make a serious move for the young Spaniard. Acosta's contract with KTM runs until the end of 2026, just like their promoter deal. But the idea of him jumping ship to Ducati is gaining traction, and it's not hard to see why. Ducati's bikes have been the class of the field, winning races left and right, and pairing their machinery with Acosta's raw talent would be like throwing petrol on a fire. Imagine Acosta battling for titles on a red rocket. That's the stuff of nightmares for every other team on the grid. So, what's Acosta saying about these rumours? So far, he's kept stum, with no official word on any Ducati offers. But as a young rider hungry for wins, it's hard to imagine him sticking with KTM if they bow out of MotoGP after 2026. Acosta's the kind of lad who wants to compete at the sharp end, and if Ducati come knocking with a shiny contract, and a bike that's practically a guaranteed podium machine, it'd take some serious loyalty or a miracle from KTM's engineers to keep him in orange. If KTM does pull the plug on MotoGP after 2026, what happens to their satellite team, Gas Factory Racing? What about other riders like Brad Binder, who's also got a long-term deal with KTM? And most importantly, how will fans react if Acosta does a runner to Ducati, leaving KTM in the lurch? Let's have a punt at what might happen if the new promoters make MotoGP more exciting and profitable. KTM might be tempted to stay. With Bajaj's backing, they've got the dosh to keep developing their bikes. But if costs keep skyrocketing and the competition gets even fierce, KTM might shift focus to other arenas like the Dakar Rally or motocross, where they've got a storied history. For Acosta, his decision will likely hinge on KTM's performance over the next 2 seasons. If KTM can deliver a bike that's up there and Acosta starts racking up wins, he might stay put. But if Ducati's courtship turns into a full-blown offer and their bike keeps dominating, Acosta might be tempted to swap orange for red, leaving KTM fans gutted and Ducati supporters rubbing their hands with glee. This story is a reminder that MotoGP isn't just about what happens on the track. There's proper drama behind the scenes, politics, money, and strategic decisions that could change the face of the sport. KTM brings a unique vibe and passion to MotoGP, and losing them after 2026 would be a gut punch for fans. Plus, the new leadership's arrival promises big changes. If they bring more races to America, MotoGP could become an even bigger global spectacle. But it also means teams like KTM need to adapt fast, or they'll be left in the dust. What's your take on KTM's MotoGP future? Do you reckon they'll stick around after 2026? Or will Pedro Acosta jump to Ducati and become the next big thing in red?
Welcome to GP Talks. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.